Went to a different. Hello and welcome. Sorry, I was having some mic issues. And I gotta fucking turn down all my mics as they spike. Alright, there we go. We're good, we're good.
Spike that mic.
Stop. You did not fucking help, you piece of shit. Alright, there we go. Oh, I'm fucking spiking my mic. God damn it. Alright, hello and welcome to Lost Legacy. This is our live play game. And this is episode 2 of our season 3. The Bastion of Knowledge is the title that I made up immediately last week, and then we had to cancel. But we're here now. We're going to keep going. Why don't we do some introductions, then I'll give a little bit of a brief summary, and we'll get right into it. So starting from my top of my screen that I can see, let's go with Rennie.
Oh, hello. My name is Rennie. I will be playing Goblin Paladin, Disbin Tenderfoot. Fun fact about Dizzy is Reggie is not his first pet. His first pet was a butterfly that he kept in a jar.
And I'm sure that his siblings, his goblinoid siblings, did nothing bad to them. That did not happen.
It lasted exactly 1 week before someone ate it. One of his cousins ate it.
Nice. Next is Norm.
Everybody, I'm Norm. I'll be playing Kaboom, your favorite rock gnome artificer. And a little known fact, now that the dragon has joined the group, he wants to grow some dragon wings one day.
And he will likely fly too close to the sun. All right, next and last but not least, Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm playing Odyseth Kroshtuk, our Dragonborn cleric. Fun fact about Otis is there are no fun facts about Otis.
Very serious.
That's the best one.
That is the best fact. All right. So just a small announcement. Unfortunately, Chris, aka the GM from Players and Creators, had to step away from our game. Just life got a little too hectic, and scheduling had to get a little conflicted, and so he will be stepping away. And hopefully, in the future, maybe he'll rejoin back up with Finn. But until then, we're gonna keep going and keep playing. So besides that, you can use your channel points to get either myself inspiration, which costs a little bit more, and I might use it against your players, or to help them. I don't know. I'm a fair or sometimes evil GM. Who knows? Or you could buy it for the party or players to give them inspiration so they can get some rerolls to help them along their epic quest. So last we left off, the heroes coming from Draven's Rest, not to be confused with how the map is mislabeled, and you're going to ignore that when you see it on the screen, everyone. They, stopped some sort of were-rat plague. They rescued Nadia Peacepennies, one of the legendary heroes who was pretending to be their own daughter. And they decided to head back once they gathered the information. Hold on. Once they gathered the information, they started to head through the Straven Kingdom to head back to the Bastion of the Strong, where they will meet up with Nadia, who is also accompanied by Finn. There, they stopped at an inn along the way and found out some news. They found out that there are some strange happenings in the land of Pentos, which is a 5-church theocracy that kind of guards the edge of the Great Fissure, and apparently a great battle with a demon prince happened, and due to that, there's been some strange infection. They were talking, and then a little bit of confrontation between them, Disbin, our friend Odysesh, and some strange exchanges of supernatural awareness, and a little bit of uncomfortability. But the night went on. Everyone parted ways. There was a messenger they met who was also parting ways. And in the morning, they went off to continue on toward the Bastion of the Strong. Along the way, they headed toward what looked like a small, not a small, but a river that kind of heads toward the ocean bay, and there's a small fort that is generally kind of like the last waypoint between, one of the last waypoints between the Bastion and Strav and Draven's Rest. There's a small city, a small town, a little bit outside of the way, and then across a river further from the Bastion would be the castle itself. But they noticed that the fort itself was a little bit quiet. It was a little bit strange. Reggie picked up a strange smell on the wind, a smell of death. And as the heroes went to investigate, they were lured out by a strange, shadow-touched orc who kind of led them into a small trap, a small ambush. They defeated the ambush, and Otisesh revealed some more darker powers, some would say, that raised some questions, but in the end, all of the enemies were defeated, including one that was almost spared, but instead of getting caught, took their own life so that their secrets would go to their grave.
He chose death.
For now, I mean, who knows? Otisesh might make him speak. We don't know these things, but that is where we kind of ended. As you kind of finished the battle, you noticed that there were definitely flies and stuff coming from the tent to the north, which is sorry, let me get to the right map.
Is it the far tent, Gene?
Yes. So kind of right here, this tent has a smell to it, and there are definitely flies. And so that is where we have left off.
All right.
Did we search this area yet?
I think we're in the middle of that. I think we ended after the fight ended. So
Got it.
with a quick search, if everyone wants to just make me an investigation check.
Yeah.
Reggie will help me.
Sure thing.
I got
13?
17.
Better than me.
Okay. So quick examination of the place. That far tent has like, I don't know, maybe 7 bodies in it. 3 of them, four of them are guards. 3 of them look like, like one's a smithy, definitely has a calloused hands. They weren't stripped of items or anything. So like one's wearing an apron, It looks like the people who kind of guarded this garrison, but like, again, this wasn't really a military garrison. This was more like, hey, get a warning out before something happens. And also, if there's a traveler and he's like, a horse shod or a wagon fixed, between their travels. And I'll say, as you guys look around, there's some minor supplies in here, so you guys could easily refill on rations and other and like basic accoutrements, rope, things that you would find in like a basic, adventuring gear, arrows, anything you need of like mundane stuff. But Otisesh, as you kind of look, your vision takes you all the way to the north bank, and you kind of start seeing a set of tracks. Looking out on the distance, maybe climbing up on the fort's wall and looking down, you think maybe a quarter of a mile, tucked into a little cove, you see a small boat.
Ooh.
That maybe could hold 5 to 10 people, like a longboat.
Yeah.
Because and I'm gonna shift everyone over because we don't need that anymore as much. If you look at the map, and I'll zoom in on my other thingy. Sorry, let me get that zoomed in for you guys. So if you look on the map right here, so this is kind of where the fort is on this little river edge. And so you notice that toward the coastline, there seems to be like a boat tucked away a little.
You went zooming in slightly more.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can zoom in. I don't need you to-
Yeah, you can zoom in as well, Sam.
Yeah.
If I were
I can zoom in, but I
So,
can't like orient myself up that way.
You're saying on the side of the Bastion of the Strong?
So like
on the
yeah,
coast. Yeah.
yeah, like right where that little T section is. So like
Remind me, are we going to Pentos or the Bastion of the Strong? Or
you
somewhere
are
else?
you are heading to the Bastion. So that red
Okay.
line is you traveling by
Yeah.
map, and you
Got it.
guys kind of ended your journey right over there. So
Otis will draw attention to the boat. There's something this way. It appears to be a ship. And he will gesture towards it and start walking towards the boat.
all right, yeah,
He's just gonna
I'll
be
go with.
cautious to make sure it's not like an ambush.
sure. I mean, I think with ease, you make your way down the shore. You know, it maybe takes you five minutes just to kind of watch your footing. But eventually, you head to this longboat. It looks like it has a minor amount of supplies in it for sailing, and you see a small locked chest.
Oh, I
Can
guess I'm.
smash it?
I can maybe unlock it, not smash it.
Do I see Otiseth like raise his fist to come down on it? Because I'll try to stop him.
All right.
I mean, if I could just rip it open, no point in.
Okay. How about this? Why don't you make me an initiative check? Otis versus Dizzy. Whoever goes higher will be able to.
Me.
Oh yeah, and you if you want to try to get in there before Otis absolutely.
I got a
17.
13.
I got a 22.
So
Yeah, he's
Otis like just signaling like, oh, I don't give a shit. It just goes about to like smash it. Dizzy kind of gets in like arms against forearms with his impressive goblinoid strength, and Kellen kind of sneaks beneath that toward the box.
Otis, wait!
Why?
These guys were with the cult of Tenebris. It could be trapped. It could be something horrible.
Okay. We'll hand the box.
Good. I will. I guess I'm the resident like rogue now. So I'll make a. I guess I want to look for traps first. A perception check.
Perception or investigation.
Oh, good. I'll do investigation. I'm much better on that. I rolled a 13.
Okay. There is a group inspiration if you'd like to re-roll.
Nope, I'm fine with that.
Okay, everything looks good.
All right. I like that.
Looking good.
Gives you a nudge, and you tell him
No,
to
that's
fuck
okay.
off.
Yep. I will attempt to pick the lock.
Sounds good.
Now that's a sleight of hand, or is that's sleight of hand, right?
That would be. I would let you use thieves'
And I have
tools.
tools. So.
I will guidance
Okay.
him.
Thank you.
There it is.
And
I would
remember,
like to have done that before, but it was too late. I was too busy trying to smash the box.
Is that sleight of hand plus my proficiency bonus?
yeah, because you technically would get double proficiency for using lockpicks.
Okay. Let me see. I rolled a 7. My proficiency is so that'd be 13.
It's probably higher than that, Nor, because you're technically proficient. You're proficient in lockpicks, so it would be. It's going to be your dex bonus plus double your proficiency.
Okay, dex bonus is plus 3, sticks 9, so 6 more, 6 more, 4, 7, 13, plus I get a guidance.
All right, roll that d4.
That's a d4. That's 2 more.
Okay. You begin to open. You begin to hear moving on a click, and you start moving through a false tumbler, and then you poke something, and you hear a like a small smashing of glass or something, and black smoke begins to leak outside the box. It smells of an acrid tang.
Fortunately, I'm immune to black smoke.
Otis, you're really familiar to the smell,
Delicious.
but it does not unlock. And I'll say, you're Kaboom. You're also familiar to the smell. Smells like
Acid?
something acidic is happening inside this box now.
Oops.
Oops!
I guess
Takes a box,
guess you
Kellen!
can
bars it open.
All right,
What happens? This is
make me an athletics check.
I went to bat for you, man.
12.
It's like an iron box, but you know what? Parts of it are starting to get real weak. You
Yeah.
smash it, you rip it open. Some like blackish green liquid splashes into the boat. Your hands are covered, but it doesn't really bother you as you're resistant to acid.
Yeah, I was just about to say this is my wheelhouse.
And you kind of holding this disintegrating box, and you see that there was a remnant of something in here, maybe paper. At this point, impossible to tell. There's mush that is sizzling.
sorry about that, guys.
There was
Happens.
nothing worth anything in here anyway. Look, it's just mush.
Probably a map or some directions or instructions or something.
Otis looks at this, but
Dismond, Dismond, keeps his cool, pretty upbeat guy. There's definitely a little bit of a vein pulsing on his forehead. It's we could have found. It's fine. Let's
Let's be
just.
positive.
I let you guys try it your way.
Yeah, no, I can't be too mad. You definitely. Let's just go. Dizzy kicks them with.
Reggie
We want
walks,
to take the boat.
Reggie walks away from the smell, obviously not happy about it.
We want to go by boat or back on foot.
Well, we have a cart, and there's a pile. There's people who are expired back at the fort.
Back to the fort then.
Yeah. You're about half a day's travel to the Bastion.
Gene, and that.
Okay. Bastion, yeah.
Good.
Cart and stuff.
I would say because the Bastion's on a bluff, it's on a cliff edge. You could sail to it. It probably has a bottom dock. Dizzy, you didn't actually explore it down there, so you're not sure. But you would guess it probably has a dock.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're proficient at sailing, this would be a great idea, but I don't know if any of you are. In fact, no, Otis specifically is not.
No, I'm definitely not.
I am not. Plus, we have mounts anyway. At least we have Reggie and plus Otis S mount, right?
I'll say this: you guys I would allow you guys if you want to try to push your journey and maybe try to get there in less than half a day to the Bastion if you want to get there quicker.
Oh, I see. Push the horses kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gene, I would like to load up the bodies on the wagon. And Dizzy's thinking is this town that's before the Bastion is probably the closest town to the fort. These people probably lived part-time at the fort and then had families or whatever back in town. So Diz is going to respectfully cart the bodies back on the wagon.
Yeah, using one of the canvas tents kind of as a bottom tarp.
Yep.
You load the 7 bodies into the wagon. I will say there also are some minor animals. There's some horses. They're definitely older draft horses, not riding horses. There might be a mule, some chickens you see in a small pen. Yeah, I mean
They're coming with.
Yeah. And you guys kind of load everything up. You want to head to the town, or are you heading to the Bastion?
I would like to head because the town is a slight deviation from the Bastion.
Correct.
Yeah. I say, listen, guys, I really want to hit the town. These people deserve their dignity and death, and they may have had families. And while we will definitely let the Bastion know what happened here, I think it's the right thing to do.
They'll probably just accuse us of killing them.
All right.
No, they won't. And Dizzy says it with a matter-of-fact confidence.
All right. You begin making your journey. Would someone please roll me a d20?
Who?
Yeah, right. We're still hurting.
Yeah, you got unless you guys want to take a short rest.
No, I think like make it to the town, then take a long rest.
Well, I mean, who's hurt? Come here.
Me?
How hurt are you, my friend? Are you
He
dying?
just looks like he's like actively like has some serious wounds, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not slowing him down, but he's visibly wounded.
Heal 25, my friend.
I don't have to do math. No, that is sufficient.
Dizzy will place a hand on your shoulder. It feels like the hand of a friend, like standing near a hearth. And you heal 25 hit points.
Otis' wounds stitch up, and he looks fine. Thank you.
Of course. Kaboom, are you okay?
Fine.
Come here, Reg. And I pet Reggie vigorously, and I heal him the rest.
I was like, I know he's hurt.
Yeah, he is hurt.
All right. So you begin making your way toward the town. Did I get that D20 roll, please?
Anybody?
Go, Sam.
Good.
Okay. You got it. 13.
All right. Everything clear skies. You begin traveling. Are you pushing your horses, or are you just riding a normal pace?
I think normal pace to town, and then maybe push it from town to
Okay. Sure.
Bastion. Is
so-
my gut, unless anybody disagrees.
Well, honestly, I say I hate to say it, but let's push them to the town, because we can rest them at the town and then kind of just walk to the Bastion. The Bastion's, It's not far from the town. You know what I mean?
So you begin making your way, and you hit. You see a town. You see a sign, kind of not really a sign outside, but you see it says Rivers Bend. Population 800. So it's a pretty large village off the river. You could assume because it's close to the capital and maybe close to the Bastion, it gets some trade and movement. There are guards. There's no wall or anything, but definitely you are noticed coming in. Are you looking to see anyone or meet someone somewhere? There's definitely a cemetery in the town.
If there are guards near our entrance, Gene,
Yeah.
I would like to, because I drive the wagon, Gene. I'm proficient in land vehicles, and I'll wave down guards.
Hell, whoa, and they kind of like wave you down. No weapons drawn,
Yeah.
Hail, traveler.
Greetings. I am of the Watchmen, and I will show my emblem of the Bastion of the Strong.
We get many of your fellow pilgrims. How can we be of assistance?
I'm returning to the Bastion after a small time away. However, we just came from the fort, not a few miles east of here. It had been attacked by a number of hobgoblins and orc, and there were not any survivors. If you will see in the back of our wagon, we have a number of bodies. We wish to have them interned here. I don't know if they have family, but I don't remember who the elder is currently of Rivers Bend, but I know we were told we would always find kind and warm welcome here.
He goes. He looks a little shocked and like a gasp, like this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But he goes. Let me get my captain. If you don't mind waiting here. Rennie, make me a persuasion check with advantage.
You got it, buddy. $21.
Okay. Yeah, he kind of speeds off. The other guy, can I get your horses any water or feed? They seem to have traveled a good distance.
Please.
And he goes, I believe he kind of calls over, and you see like a squire or like a younger page of the guard. He goes, get them feed. Let one of the other boys know to fetch Sister Harrow. And he nods, and the kid runs off. And about 15 minutes goes by. Your horses are starting to get tend to. You guys are kind of moved to the side of the road so that people can keep going back and forth. And eventually, you see probably a woman, 35, a little bit of like a scar across her face, definitely like weathered, but she's kind of like a little short, squat, but like looks like she could really handle her own. Maybe a little bit of a dwarven heritage, who knows? And she's in her armor. Hello, I'm Captain Gisela. My good man informed me a little bit of it, but I'd like to hear what happens. So you kind of start. You can explain easily. She like nods along. Eventually, you see an older woman, maybe in her like late 60s, walking with like a crooked cane, almost like a shepherd's crook. And you notice on top seems to be like a piece of like mud and dirt that kind of like in the crook kind of like is floating in its own like space. And she kind of heads forward. And she nods. This is the sister. The mother of the town. She's Mother Superior in the area. She will look to taking care of the bodies and finding out what she can about the situation and taking care of it. Thank you for doing such a duty. If you need to keep going, we can handle here. We will be sending a small contingent of guard, and we will be sending word to the castle to get a little bit more of to get a regiment out here to kind of investigate what is happening. Is there anything we can do for you?
Um, if you could just park our cart, feed and water our horses. If you could just give us fresh horses so we can get to the Bastion quickly. Other than that, no, I think that's all. And thank you for your attentiveness in this matter.
Well, of course, we thank you for you doing your duty. You are helping the kingdom and those in need. We will take care of all of that. Give us a. Why don't you rest yourselves for the next hour? Get a meal at the tavern, and we'll have you ready to go.
Very good. Thank you.
So, without any kind of like hustle or bustle or affair, your wagon is taken by the mother and one of her acolytes. You can tell they're riding toward a hill, which is probably the cemetery, probably to give like last rites and whatever. And you guys head to a tavern. The tavern's name is Get Bent, and it has the river, the same shape of the river.
That's a banger. Gee, that's a pure banger of a fucking bar name.
It's River's Bend, of course. you gotta go with your theme. And you guys are. It's a hustle and bustle. This is a little bit more. Definitely a village that sees more activity because it's also on the river. So you are seeing boats and ferries being pulled along, some sailing on their own. This is a little bit of a trade town, and they have a direct access to the main capital. So across the river, you see some farms, and you guys get a nice a nice lunch, let's say, kind of to warm your bones from some cold events that recently happened. You all get the benefits of a short rest, and not that it doesn't really matter if you track it too much. And within the hour, you are set with fresh horses for each of you, and these look like pretty sturdy horses. And Captain Giselle goes, the Bastion has standing orders. They will send a page back to return the horses and retrieve yours. So, ride with taste. Just let them know that these are river bends. They should know by the stamp. And you see the brands on the back of the horses.
Will do. Thank you.
Well, may the wind guide you and the earth keep your travel safe. And she kind of nods.
Be vigilant. Be watchful.
Always.
And I will. I don't take a horse. I just jump on Reggie. But I imagine we kind of match up and like roll out hard.
Yeah, I'll say now that you're not pulling a wagon, and you guys kind of just have fresh horses, probably takes you, which would have been maybe if like 4 or 5 hours, probably takes you about 2. These are fresh young horses, and they definitely seem to like know where they're going. So you assume that these horses are often used to ride back and forth for messages. So
Well, since I didn't have a horse, they provide me one. Since I usually ride in the cart.
correct. Well, they didn't know that, so they provided you all mounts. But when one of you says, "I don't need it," they go, "Okay," like they're like, "Sure," like. And you guys, kind of rolling into evening, arrive riding up the hill. You see this large, like old stone fortress. Kind of takes up this whole cliff face. You kind of rolls upward, almost like the city of Rohan, kind of just like walls going up a hill, and then at the top you see definitely like a large structure that overlooks the sea and the ocean and the bay beneath it. You ride up, and there's kind of like a calming, tranquil feel as you begin to hit the steps and you get to the outer cloisters. You are greeted by a young half elf. He does a small bow to Disbin and then nods to the two of you. He goes, "Watcher, how can I assist you?"
I believe there is a guest in the Bastion named Norm. We are seeking his company.
Excellent. He's been in the main chamber with the Grand Master.
Very good.
All right. And he kind of takes your horses, gets you all. Sorry, I gotta find something. Yes, Grandmaster Thaddeus. Right. Yep. Okay. And so, as you guys kind of head your way through, there are some gardens that you see people perusing and walking through, and you guys eventually head to the inner castle and the fort, this bastion that it is named for. It's it definitely Odisesh, parts of it remind you of both a church but also a monastery of warriors. You see training grounds, you see, arenas, you see targets, you see an assortment of weapons on the grounds. This place looks like, like where you would do militia training or knightly training or soldier training. But also has a mix of like, there's places for people to like meditate and hone their senses. Once you get past these kind of rolling gardens, you enter this. You see this large stone structure of an old design. Not Definitely does not have a familiarity to like Khosralian design, but definitely older than Draven's Rest, and you could see that like some of the architecture looks familiar to Khosralian. Like you're like I could see like a tower in one of the one of the dragon houses is a similar design. So maybe there's someone had that same eye when they were either designing Khosralian architecture or this place was being created. But because of your archaeology and stuff, knowing like buildings. But yeah, you guys enter a large marble open room with like rugs. Standing at the far center is you see a suit of like scarred and marked plate mail. Though it shined with a gleam as if it is cared and polished, the battle scars are still remain. This is the statue that you have seen before, Disbin, of the founder of the Bastion, and it stands still unmoving. You hear some loud talking.
Gene,
Yes.
real quick, as we pass the statue, Dizzy kind of absently, almost like you can tell this is a motion that he's done dozens and dozens of times. He kind of puts his hands to his lips and then touches the foot or like the greave of the plate mail as he passes by.
Yeah. And and again, you guys are seeing different people, and it's strange because you would expect to be seeing people in like full plate, like this is a knightly order or a bastion, but they look like commoners. There's people who look like almost street urchins walking about this place, and nodding to each other and talking. You see hall doors along certain hallways, and peeking in, there are some like classrooms. You notice one classroom, you see a pedestal with a bag, like a coin purse on it. And you see this halfling kind of standing on a chair watching. You see a young person, maybe 12, 13, humanoid, kind of moves forward and does like the Indiana Jones of trying to switch the bag with something of equal weight, and then like black powder bursts in their face, and the halfling just shakes their head and like continues on. And again, it's all these
You
different.
never get it on the first try. I whisper as we walk by.
As you see, it seems to be some sort of classes are going on, though not the common classes that you would expect of a paladin order or something like that. But eventually, you hear some. First, you smell a familiar pipe weed coming from the inside of probably a library. You see some strange rainbow color light come out the doorway.
That's our gnome. No.
All right. As you turn the bend, you see Norm smoking from a pipe. As he blows from it, a colored rainbow thing comes up, and you see a large Godzilla-like creature fight a manticore in the smoke as he's just like reading a book, flipping it with a mage hand, and just like these small like fights are happening of like monstrous battle, a dragon fighting a frost giant, like, and just clashes, but they are all visibly real in the smoke. Well, you're here. Good. And you see an older gentleman with a bit of a bald head, bent back. This is Grandmaster Thaddeus. He nods to you. It has been a while. I'm glad to see you. And you've brought your friends.
Indeed. And I will bow very deeply to Thaddeus.
Oh, you do not need to bow to me. Please, raise.
Thank you, Grandmaster. Yes, these are my friends. This is Odyseth, and this is Kellen.
He nods, and Norm nods to all of you. Well, good. We've been doing research. We have some information, but we got message on the wind that Nadia is coming here.
Oh, I thought, is she not here? And like, Diz does like a look around.
Blending out of the shadows itself, Nadia steps out of the walls. Oh, I've been here the whole time. It just took a little bit longer. I wish to inform you that unfortunately, your friend Finn was called off somewhere. He said he felt a pull, a calling somewhere toward the Great Fissure, and he said it was urgent and that he must go. I don't, maybe if you ever go out that way, he said that if you head that way, he will contact you, but he said it is of great importance. Whatever.
I mean, Finn's always had strong mental acuities, so there must
He'll
be
be
something
along
to that.
shortly. He'll be along.
Stepping from another shadow, you see Lamont with a tray of biscuits and tea. I took the liberty, and you hear this, of making everyone snacks. Brother Thaddeus kind of takes a step back. Norm seems fully unfazed of this. Uh, and you see that there are teas and like small finger foods put out on a table. Well, it looks like the gang is all here, Norm says as he kind of perks up. So, do you all need a rest? Because I need to speak with Nadia for a bit, and I think we have some catching up to do. Because last I thought she was dead, and she does a nod. Things have been greatly exaggerated.
We are uninjured for the most part. We did just come from battle about a few hours ago, but I think we'll be okay. But if you need to speak with Nadia, there might be some information we have. I mean, I'm sure Nadia can tell you about what happened back in Draven's Rest, but the cult is near Norm. We encountered them but a few miles away. Gene, roughly how many miles is the fort from here? 10 miles?
Yeah, probably like 10 at most.
Around, about 12 miles away, the cult was coming for us. They knew we were going to be there. And they killed everyone there.
And Nadia kind of nods. She goes, well, I think with my exposure being known that I am now existing again, their activities might be raising because they fear that their master might get trapped if the heroes are back.
Gene, I remember, I think I was sent to look specifically for Norm, which is why I left the Casralian Empire,
Yep,
but I cannot remember why.
Yeah, no. So Norm essentially lit a beacon saying, I'm calling on Castlroy Mantle Drake
Yes.
to hold up his part of the bargain, and your family was like, "Who's the least important person we care
Right.
about?"
Okay,
Because we have to show face that we're sending someone,
Yeah.
but we don't want to waste a good resource.
Right.
So yes, you are looking for Norm because you are here to fill your side of the bargain, and I don't think you've met Norm yet. I think you've only met.
I have not. But
Yeah,
it's very clear that this guy is Norm.
Yes, very clear.
Yes.
And he looks at you like he knows you, but has not said anything formally.
I am here to fulfill the bargain. My people have been called upon, and I am here to answer.
Oh,
What would you have of us?
he looks at you. He climb. So you watch. He kind of waves his hand, and you see stairs appear, and he walks up them. Reggie walks right through them like they're not there, and he walks up them, and he gets up to your eye level. Oh, you look just like him. He kind of stares deeply into your eyes, puts down some goggles that. Oh, you're a spitting image of Castlroy. Well, not spitting. He definitely had a little bit more personality, but spitting image. You could just tell from his boisterousness. Yes. You did get my message. Good. Well, so, I guess, you know what, we could start here. He kind of snaps a finger, and you see another Norm walk out. And he goes, Norm, catch up with Nadia and find out what she knows. We'll continue. I have to catch up with them. And just Norm nods and walks away.
That was strange.
Yes, it was.
For Norm, this is like a 4, maybe a 5.
Well, because you all helped me at least take out part of the cult, and I no longer had to dedicate my magic to protecting Namor, it gave me a little bit of ability to waggle the old fingers again, so I created another simulacrum of myself to assist me. But anyway, Let's catch up. While I can speak with you, while Nadia is getting the other information, and then we can have the meeting. I've been doing research here, and you see scrolls and books on the table, all in different languages, kind of outlining different things. He also has a map of uh of the continent down, so the what map you guys kind of see that on the map. That's kind of out and spread. You see places underlined and circled, much like I have underlined and circled on them. Those are actually there on the map, except for your travel by maps. That's not there. Um, but he goes, yes, yes. What's your name, son?
He says to me.
Yeah, because he says he doesn't seem to know you.
I am Otiseth Krashtuk of House Duplexia.
Yes, yes. Oh, the old Duplexias. Ah, excellent. Well, it is an honor to meet you. I don't know if you use the title Prince or whatever title you prefer, but it is an honor to meet you.
And you as well.
Otis, are you a prince?
It is unimportant.
Disney looks very taken with this information.
But, so, your founder, Calzleroy Mantledrake, and myself and a few others, we fought against an ancient and dark, primordial force known as Tenebris. Its goal was to consume everything and cover it in absolute darkness, a cold darkness, a void. But your founder and a few of us who are still alive, we defeated it. And then in the in the town of Narmore, which I'm sure you've never heard of, we trapped it, and then we each used a piece of our power to seal it away, so that it could not rain upon our world. Unfortunately, it being what it is, minor abilities, minor cracks over time, it began to weasel its way into the shadows and darkness itself. And then it started influencing people in their darkest times, those who had given up and formed a cult that were still there loyal to free it. I have been spending a majority of my time fighting off the cult. They have been more active over the past 20 or so years because they've been planning a coup or situation to awaken their Dark Master and free it from its binds, which they nearly succeeded. In fact, they kind of succeeded. Your friends, and he kind of gestures to Kellen and Disvin, them and a few of their friends from the village of Narmore, which was under a grand illusion and enchantment that no one would remember it or remember from being there while it was active. Found that a cult had successfully infiltrated their way into Narmore and began to amass a force to free their Dark Master. There, they nearly succeeded, and I was unfortunately not present, but my former simulacrum who died during the struggle with the Tenebris seemed to have turned the power that it was its cage into enemies on the inside. The young companions, while I devise magic to disable it, the young companions defeated the shadow versions of these ancient heroes, because again their power was invested. In doing yes, go Disbin.
I speaking of the ancient heroes, we visited the museum that's dedicated to them in Draven's Rest. And Master Thaddeus, I found this, and I reached into the folds of my cloak and pull out a long sword that is longer than the cloak is. I don't know if it's authenticity, but it bears Garth's mark.
Oh my. He kind of looks at it. And you see, like, he smiles, and the smile goes all the way to his eyes. What a find, my boy. And he kind of draws it. It has a few marks in it, but it's more or less still held up. Oh, when he was an apprentice, a smith himself, I think he forged something like this. I would have to get the testing, but it looks pretty authentic to me. Ah, you know what? I'll know just to do with it. And he kind of begins walking slowly, and you see him head out. Well, good find, my boy. And he kind of like laughs, and
Yeah,
and there's a little bit of like a pep in this old man's step.
cool.
And then Norm kind of continues. So, unfortunately, I was currently fighting some of the cult spawn and cultists during this time, but my simulacrum succeeded in helping defeat it, but unfortunately, I believe died, turned to dust and ruby and snow and stuff. Yes. I don't, again, not mentally linked. I don't really know how it works, but assumedly, you all succeeded. But that means that the seals that trap away the creature are weakened, and Narmore is now remembered. So the cultists can now truly strike again. Why we called everyone is we need to figure out a way to either finish this fight once and for all, or seal it away in a more permanent manner. Now, obviously, all of the people who were involved in the sealing, which I will. It was Sir Garth the Strong, founder of this order. He is dead. He was a human. There is Ralford, Master Arcanist, unknown, but we have some. I have some leads. Myself was there. Orwayne McLean, the Demon Slayer. You know that area in Pentos, I'm sure you've heard of, where there's like a dark land, and in the center there's like one spot of hope, one green pasture. He fought a demon prince after the fact, and was slain there. I am finding that Nadia, I thought she was also slain there, but she is alive, so that is helpful. She also might have the most information about the cult, because she, during her life, was a double agent and has some of Tenebrous' magic within her and abilities. And then in the Elder Wood in Felsira, there is Alanathan Zaaftu, or Silver Crown in the common tongue. And she may not be on that side, but in the woods, she was a ranger and druid of an Eladrin, so she had a little bit touch of the Fey Wild. Her and her people share a home between this plane and the Fey Wild. That's kind of protect her from large threats getting through. But we used her power, and then of course Cazleroy Mantle Drake. He kind of like does a sigh. His involvement did not end well. He always fought to be a leader, and it did not mesh with the great heroes. And so, after the takedown of the great enemy, he took his riches and fortune and fame and founded Khazralia. I know he used some sort of artifact of a draconic nature to help seal Tenebris. But again, Khazaroi was very secretive. Not secretive. He played his cards close to his chest. He did not divulge. That was not his way. And he used some sort of object that he said he got in the from the first dragon he ever slew. And Odysseus, in your mind, you just hear. That's it. But we would need to figure out a way to harness draconic forces if we are to mimic whatever power his. If we want, again, we need to make a decision. So let me. You see him nod. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I have just got the information from Norm 2, I guess. I guess we'll call him that. Seems like we have some choices ahead of us. Our one choice would be we reseal the darkness, but we're gonna need something else. Not only are we going to need the old power that did it, but I feel like we're gonna need a new power as well. Something more. It seems like this Tenebris had the ability to, I don't know, manipulate the minds of folks. And so maybe something that could protect against that, something that could trap its sentience would be another power. And then
the other option, because sealing it, Norm, you sealed it once, and I don't want to disrespect anyone who put all their effort and life on the line, but it wasn't successful. It was a temporary fix. How do we banish this thing so that Chaldea is safe?
That would take great research. It has no known way to kill it. It is a true primordial. It would need the strength of a god or primordial itself.
So we need the strength of a god.
Well, there are sometimes workarounds. So,
all right.
I think my thought would be this. If we gather the old power as a backup, and whatever this new power that could be used to seal it, maybe we could, with all of that, and during that time, more research, try to figure out a way to cut it off from the root. Maybe if there's a way to separate it from its source. Maybe even give it a host that could be slain. Give it a mortal form. Again, this is high magic. This is high divinity. This would take a lot. Or maybe slaying it on its own plane, where it's leeching from. These are... But
I like the idea. I mean, Norm, you're the expert. I'm a boy from a town. I'm a boy with a dog, and I never wanted to be anything but that. But the world decided I had to be something else, that we had to be something else. I don't think any of us set out to be here and do this, but if we're the ones to... Well,
Sorry,
you're the exception. No, you're the exception, Otis. Listen, I don't know everyone's path. You grew up on the other side of the continent. I have no idea what your home is like. But the point is, if it can be contained and we can put it in another vessel, and that vessel can be destroyed, I think that has to be the move, right, Norm? We can't just try to seal it again with a new set of paint or glue or whatever.
He takes a nod. Well, I have some thoughts. I'm going to lay it out to you like this. My thought would be, like I said before, gather a gift, gather a piece of power from these ancient heroes, some that exist, some who don't. But if this person is alive, and I am not sure they are, Ralford the Great Arcanist, he holds a tower to the south, a little bit west of us. It is Fogaratus, and then it's the tower's name because it was forged by lightning itself striking the sand. And above it is a small cloud village called Cumulus Conclave. It's the closest touching point to the elemental air plane. But
Okay.
it was a wizard's academy for a while, but they have cut off contact over the past 20 years or so. I am unsure. I do not know the standing of Ralford. I do not know if he is dead or alive. He was human.
Why did they cut off contact, Norm?
I did not have the resources to look into it.
You were watching over Nairmore during that time.
I was, and also dealing with other cultists' activity. But he was a master wizard. He would have more notes and libraries. He would be one who has mastered the art of wishing things into existence. That would be a person, I think, that would be, if they are around or if their notes might have plans and designs to take out this threat. Honestly, Pentos, another place, it has great divine minds. If you could get, Owen McLean was one of a great cleric, and there could be ancient scrolls. There might be a way to look into divine magic. I mean, the Zaftu, Alanathan, and her twin, I mean, all of the different elven people, they each guard places of the realms, except for another set of elves. They gave up on their charge, but their charge was magic. They are masters of the arcane. They are a little bit past Pentos. They live in a city known as Darthanor.
Okay.
These are places of great knowledge and institution might help you, but understanding the nature of it. I mean, I would say Alanathan would be a great source if she's still alive, being that she lives in the Feywild. There might be strangeties and magics that are used against Fey lords, and how would you protect against such great beings? I think it's going to take a combined effort to do this.
All right. Well, where do we start?
Wizard.
You are suggesting we need the greatest wizards and magic users from all over the world working together in order to make this happen.
I mean, and also whatever secrets your people have, because you've all been cut off for so long. I'm sure there's so great draconic mysteries that the world has not seen since the founding of Kazralia.
Perhaps. How would we know what your people would find as mysterious, but to us might not be so?
Well, as I've done before, I will assist you. And he snaps his fingers, and you see, to you, Otisesh, and to others, a familiar fairy dragon. You see a fairy Sparkles goes, "Hey, I'm back." But now that I'm here, I can always be a in-between for you and the big man, or big man's. I'm not really sure how it works because I kind of talk to both of them. It's real strange.
Hey, buddy. Good to see you.
Good to see you. So, I can work as a communication as long as I stay alive. And that way, if we find things that need to be found, I can help you. I can assist you while Norm Squared decides what they're gonna do.
How
Well-
do we know what we're looking for?
Well, that's why I'm gonna come with you. Well, he kind of looks to Kellen. He goes, Norm kind of goes, hush, hush, hush now, snaps his fingers, the sparkle disappears. He goes,
Oh, damn.
He goes, well, Kellen is of a strong mind in the arcane sense, and he looks at you, Otisesh, and you watch his eyes flash a rainbow color. And you seem infused with divinity and other strange things, as he kind of does a wry smile to you. So maybe you would know what to look for in Pentos and the holy books, the scriptures, and Kellen, as an arcane technician, would understand maybe at least the basics of spell work, and also, heck, maybe his machine craft could assist us. Your arcane knowledge, you might be able to make mundane things that normal, like someone who is non-magical is able to use, that could simulate or put off a similar ability as what we are looking for. I can provide information, but I would think the first step, if you are, and also if you can find these people or their descendants or people who like know of the wizards in the tower, they might be able to assist you if you tell them what you're looking for. I can also make a copy of books for you too, if you wish.
That's very helpful. I mean, it sounds to me, and again, I know next to nothing of the arcane, but it sounds to me like we need to marry the old ways with the new ways. And Kellen, that's kind of your whole thing. Finding new ways to use magic that haven't been done before. And Norm, it sounds like, as much research as you've done and as much, deep knowledge as you have, we're in unknown territory. So we need more knowledge. And Kellen, I kind of think you hit it on the head. I think we got to go to the wizard, right? He's going to be someone who's the most knowledgeable, has the potential to be the most knowledgeable.
So we're off to see the wizard.
Master Wizard.
I mean, I think as a first stop, that's a good one, because if we can find Ralford, who knows, whatever. But we can at least get knowledge to at least help Norm, or if we can get Ralford himself, great. But each of the heroes, they have power and knowledge, Garth, the founder of this place, and I kind of gesture at the walls around us, he was, a blacksmith and a warrior, and he protected those who could not protect themselves, and he fought back the darkness with steel and wits, and he died in the doing of it, but, there's got to be more than one way to fight this threat. So I think starting with the wizard is good, but let's not discount the other heroes and their contributions.
Young Gisbin, well said. I think looking through the history with fresh eyes, those not tainted by the events themselves, might be able to glean things that those who have been fighting for hundreds of years may look past. I think and again, do not count that we will not be helping. I will be likely when Nadia is ready and recovered from her ordeal, we will be setting out, sending everyone. We will be using our resources as well. You are not on your own, but you as a group can begin moving sooner than some of us. We are a little more well known. I believe if you give me an idea of where you wish to go, I could always send others to places. I could send, Nadia to Felsira, where she might be able to beseech the Fae and the elves. I could send her to Darthanor. She would be one of the only who could probably sneak in there. Point is, you are not on your own. I just want you to know that we are going to be using all resources. I imagine we are going to probably use this place as our base of operations, as it is the most secure. We know that cultists will not be making their way here, or if they try, they will be likely stopped. And the order has a way of sussing out the truth in people. So,
Norm, a secondary point, but still important. I agree that we need to seek these greater powers. However, at the same time, in parallel, I suppose, we also need to weaken the cult, or at least halt their advancement as much as we can. So, I don't know the best way to split our resources. I don't, but we kind of got to do both, I think.
I mean, seeking allies along your way would definitely be helpful. I mean, I know that many of those who were once part of Narmore finally have returned to their old lives or toward their people. There might be resources out in the world that I'm not thinking of. I mean, Norm, you're, heading, or Kellen, heading to the Verdant Sea. I know your people, your father and mother were prevalent there. You might be able to, have, find help, out there. Heading to Khazralia. I don't, again, no one knows the state there, but with Odyssesh, you might be able to recruit allies. These are things to be thought of, but we don't have a true timetable. We don't know when. We know that they are gathering power. We know that they are trying to free their master. I will definitely be sending some people or what I can to Narmore to at least keep that area secure. But that might get besieged. There are ways to easily get through the woods or the coastline that are not so protected.
Um,
This could take
Norm,
us years, couldn't it?
Sorry, what'd you say?
This could take us a long time, maybe years. This is a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that need to be done. Is it better if we kind of get allies first? Like, I could go back to the Verdant Sea. You other two can go back and get aid there. Then maybe we can meet at a place. Because if we're stuck on researching, then we're not really going to be able to get any allies. I don't see this research thing being very quick. I mean, I might have to peruse over books. I'm not expecting that this master wizard will know everything. So research, as you know,
Well,
Norm, it takes time.
understood. But if you get there and he is there, it used to be an arcane, like, place of learning. So there might be apprentices and other mages that he could set to the task. We don't know. The point is, I've been doing this on my own since Narmore fell. Now we have people mobilizing. Now that I have the time to think, I think Ralford is your best choice. If he is around, having someone of that intellect and ability would be incredibly helpful. I myself, I while I am an archmage, I am not that type of archmage.
I don't know what that means.
Let us say my magic does not specify in certain ways than I use my. It's hard to explain, but point is, I did not make a tower with an ancient library in it that is made out of lightning itself.
No, you
I'm
made a turtle that walks around and is really cool.
well, yes, but that's what I made, a turtle, not a insane magic tower that touches the elemental plane of air. There's a difference.
Okay,
I
I think
am
I get it.
I'm more travel about than someone who has spent years studying and perfecting all of the arcane magics. Is more what I'm
Well,
emphasizing.
I mean, Kellen, I think to your point, I think we kind of have to find allies along the way. I think you're right, and there is going to be a lot of research that needs to be done, and that's why we hit the wizard first and hope that this academy or institute is still operational and we can employ some smart peoples to start helping Norm and just helping overall. And maybe they can start researching the stuff that we find or knowledge that is available, and that can help us guide our path. I mean, we are people who can. One of the tenets here in the Bastion of the Strong is, you know, those who have strength are obligated to help those who don't, right? We have abilities and power to make change, so we should use it.
And I will say, I believe you also made a small name for yourself already in Draven's Rest. I feel that at least the Straven Kingdom might lend aid, which we can start beseeching. I feel like some of the priests who came to fix the sickness that you all cured there probably report back to Pentos. It means that you might have your ways in you might have doors opening a little easier than before. And if you keep making names for yourselves, more doors will open. And once you open the door, then we can come. Then we can assist. Because if for example, if you get to Fulguratus and they're open arms and everything's great, you have wizards, you have Ralford, assuming whatever condition he's in, and you start solving problems. But if you get there and it is somehow locked and there's no one there, but it still has a tower or library, well, then you let myself know, and I will come, or I will send Norm to, and that's a person that can be researching there, and you can move on. But the point is, I don't have the resources to dedicate myself or another to open the door and start researching. But once I know I can just go in and research, well, then we can start working. So you would be feet on the ground, if that makes sense.
And we should leave soon.
Agreed.
Sounds like our goal is to find places for you to come in and unlock the deepest secrets of.
Unless they're already unlocked, you could. I mean, if these secrets help you to also gain strength and the ability, I imagine, as Kellen has pointed out, this is going to take maybe years, but at the end of that journey, you will need weapons and artifacts and items, because I feel like you will be the ones who change the tide.
Who knows if we have that kind of time? Norm, I don't know who's trustworthy, and I understand that that's a judgment call that we're going to have to make step by step, person to person. But I've made inroads with the Order of the Golden Rooster. I don't know if you know of them.
It kind of takes a moment.
It's a nightly order out of Draven's Rest and beyond, I imagine.
Someone roll me d20. I don't have any dice.
I got
in front of me.
10.
5.
All right, that's fine. He goes, Yes. Yes, they are a motley bunch. They like to be loud and honorable, and anyone of any station can rise up there. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they asked me to join. We made some inroads with them when in our time at Draven's Rest. The point I'm making is I wouldn't imagine telling all of them of what's going on, but their leader, a woman named Lady Hawk, she spoke to me directly, and if I were judging her character, I would say she is someone, if we are looking to root out members of the cult of Tenebris, while they are loud and, yes, very out in the open, and the cult of Tenebris works in the dark and through secrecy, maybe they could be a way to sort of root out this evil,
Well, that
or at least some of the cult members.
that is a good idea. I will send a message their way when we are finished. Do you mind if I use your name?
Please do.
Because they are actually closest currently to Nairmore, and if they have a cavalry, if they could ride, they could at least get people there, at least watching for any strangers. I remember, wasn't there a mansion cleared out recently?
There was indeed. Lady Lash is no longer
Right.
with us.
He kind of goes, yes. I think that would do nicely. Thank you.
All right. I think Otis said it best. Off to see a wizard?
Well, why do you not at least spend the night? Get some food in you. You have ridden from Draven's Rest. You have encountered some difficulties along the way. Why do you not take the night to recuperate your strength? Because who knows when you will, next be sitting. It is a bit of a ride, and I will warn you that Fogaratus stands in a desert, an unnatural desert. So, we need to gather you supplies for that. And if you do not return to the Bastion, you may want to continue along the way to other places. And he kind of, again, he shows you the map, makes you a copy, hands it to you.
Perfect.
I have underlined the places that I know the ancient heroes either hailed from, or, well, Stravend is underlined only because that is where I believed Fingers was. But now you don't have to worry too much about that. But those are the places. I've underlined Pentos, Fogaratus, Falzira, the Khazralian Empire, and I have circled Nairmore for you. And as we continue on, that will hopefully be... We will find all of the information we need, and we will put this beast to rest, and we shall see, though. It's a lot to do. If there's anything you all need, please. Actually, I can't do that. Master Thaddeus, and you see the old man head in with a smile. Yes. I think, if you don't mind, I think we are going to get some rest for the night, and we will provision them in the morning. And Thaddeus goes, Yes, young ones, come with me. I will take you to some. We don't have fancy rooms, but we have cots and rooms that you could use.
Excellent.
All right, follow me. And so he kind of leads you over, and you see small sets of rooms that each have about 4 cots in them. It looks very barrack style. And he kind of gestures to one of the empty rooms that have 4 cots. Each cot has a footlocker at it. And he goes, food will be in an hour or two. We have a mess hall.
I'll show them the way, Master Thaddeus.
Of course. Oh, go check out the statue before you head out. You like what I did with it. And
Okay, sure.
he does as he kind of like heads off to do some duties throughout the shrine and bastion. All right. I'm gonna say, why don't we take a 15-minute break? Because this is a good point to like take a small break and people can do stuff, and then we'll get back at like 9:10, and then I don't know, go for a little bit more because I want to. Yeah, I'll see if there's anything you guys want to do when we get back, and then we'll kind of set up for the next session.
Cool.
Sounds
All
good.
right. All right, and we are back. So, as you guys kind of, settle down for the evening, you have these cots. You go to a nice, like a large, almost cafeteria esque setup. Long tables. There's seems to be like a stew and hard bread, and there is a minor amount of ale being put out, but it seems like everyone seems to be rationed. Like you don't see anyone drinking excessively. And you guys are kind of sat at your own table. People are definitely like talking and whispering. Some of the younger acolytes and squat, train those being trained are, definitely looking at you. But you notice that the older people and the adults of the order seem to be kind of minding their own business, sitting. Some of them talking like old friends. But I guess the oddness for both Otisesh and Kellen is that Dizzy seems to be probably one of the youngest people who wears the same insignia as the adults. Like, treated with the same respect, though, like, some of these younger acolytes look to be Dizzy's age, if not a little older, like some of the squires and stuff. So, that's just something you all notice just out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, and Dizzy is changed into simple linens, not exactly to like match the people there, but obviously much more like not rocking around in plate mail and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I will say, like Otisesh, it is subtle, but people are definitely giving you an eye because you likely are probably the first Khazralian to ever be in this place, ever.
I
Like,
think I'm getting used to this.
yeah, yeah, you're like this is nothing new. I will say this though, you are definitely getting a feeling of discomfort from your artifact.
Okay.
And make me a perception check.
10.
You got an inspiration if you want to roll it. You don't
All
have
right,
to.
I'll use an inspiration. That's just a reroll.
Yep. Here we
Yeah.
21.
It seems that like at first you didn't notice it, but then you clocked it every time you pass by the marred armor in the center of the hall. Your phylactery gets a bad vibe.
There's a specific suit of armor.
Yeah, so when you first entered the hall, there was like this marred suit of armor, which apparently is the original suit of armor that Sir Garth the Strong, the founder of the Bastion, wore. But every time you pass it, uh, you not like at first you didn't really notice it, and then it's like, oh, you keep getting like the hairs on the back of your neck, and you kind of like hear that low growl occasionally when you walk by it from interiorly.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop and look at it.
Okay, cool. So throughout the night, so now you notice before it was just like standing there, like hand out. Now you see in its gauntleted hand is a scabbarded sword, the one that Dizzy returned. Yeah, you stop at it and you just see an unmoving statue of armor.
Does my feeling change at all?
You get the uncomfortability that like
Yeah.
Sevrox like feels off or something.
Hmm. And I don't have any idea why this might happen. It's just like
You could make me a
because it's some artifact or something.
Oh, we lost a Norm, and we got a Norm back. Let's see. Make are you gonna do any magic about it, or are you just trying to get like?
I am not going to do any magic about it yet. I want to
Okay.
just try to figure. I'm trying to get a better sense of what's going on. Like in my head, I'm like, is this just like an artifact of good? Like some like super holy artifact that's pissing off Severax, or is it like is there more to it than that?
Give me a religion check. That feels like a religion check.
15.
I mean, that sounds reasonable. You notice that, like, the church people and sense like a little bit of undeath. So maybe you have the vague idea that this is some sort of paladin order.
Yeah.
So, things are happening. Okay. Norm's work. Everyone, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty on Norm's end, but we're going to keep going, and hopefully he will be able to join when he gets back. So, it's a weird vibe. Make me another perception check.
Nat 20.
That is important. One of the times you walk by, you swear the head of the armor follows you. But then when you look again, it's back in its normal position.
What's the like? I'm about to do something stupid.
I love
What's
it.
the like setup of this? Is this like up in like a way that it would be awkward to go up and touch it, or is it
No,
close enough that I could? Go
it's
up and
literally
touch it?
like imagine a suit of armor on a stand in the
Okay,
set.
it's not like lifted up
Nope.
set in a wall like
Abs-
a church sort of setting. Okay.
It's like the centerpiece of like you walk into the grand hall, and the first thing you see at the edge of the hallway is this statue, and then on the left side is the wing that one of the wings you go down, and on the right side is the wing,
Yeah.
and there's like a staircase going up.
And
like
it's not like velvet rope like blocking
nope,
it off.
there
Like
is
it's just,
not.
all right.
And you notice like when Dizzy came in here on the first time, he like touched the foot.
Yeah. I'm
And
not going.
I'll say this: do you want other people here with you? Because this could happen. This could happen any time during the day or night that you are here.
I would say Otis isn't going to mind if his friends are there, but he is not going to want to do it if there's like a huge crowd.
No,
he's not just going to like go up in the middle of the day.
Yeah,
when
we'll
there's,
say
a
it's
bunch of
like
people just,
it's
up
like
and
it's
about.
like
the night times probably
after dinner. You're wandering
Yeah.
by, and this is when it all kind of catches. So again, if you want to confirm with people, so yeah,
Yeah. And then he'll go up and he'll place his hand like on the hand of the statue on the gauntlet, like nothing, like just to like see what happens.
interesting. I need to look at your artifact. Roll me.
Yeah, that's the armor of the founder. Yeah, it's been here for a century or so.
Roll me a d20.
11.
Okay, I don't think that's gonna make it, but we're gonna find out as a team. When I look at your
Guilt
character,
check. I could guidance myself. And
Well,
if it's a saving throw, I can resist it myself.
this is a saving throw, but not for you.
Okay.
This is a saving throw for something else that is on your person, and I know it has.
I can also resistance that.
But the thing is, you'd have to know it's happening.
This is true. I would have to know it's happening.
All right, so it
In
has.
fact, if I was to think ahead of time, I should cast resistance. I would certainly have cast it on myself and not on anything else.
Okay,
So I think that's just going to be what it is.
that's amazing. So, yeah, you feel absolute terror coming from your artifact, as if you've probably encountered this once or twice, where like maybe when you were delving in a deep tomb, and maybe some like skeletal remains of kobolds came against you, and you waved out the phylactery, and they either ran away or burst to dust. Mm-hmm. You are now feeling that feeling from your artifact.
Okay.
You are not scared.
Yeah,
But
I'll pull my hand back when I do.
I do need you to make me. You now need to make a saving throw. Charisma save, please.
20, not natural.
You feel like your phylactery, or Severax, is trying to take over your body, but you have the will of a dragon, and you resist it. And again, this has also never happened. It
Yeah.
feels like some sort of fear response, like when this thing gets driven and like this, it seems to like trying to escape,
Right.
and you feel like it trying to push against your will.
Interesting.
And when you move your hand away, it kind of like subsides.
Yep.
But you definitely felt something.
Very curious.
So this shows like no reaction.
Yeah, I'll say
other than his
you
words.
you two can make me an insight check, because I think you might see like Otis has his body tense for a second as like the resistance happens, and then Sam, if you want to make me a deception check.
19.
16.
I got a 19 insight.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got an 11. I lied. 11
Okay.
insight.
Yeah, I mean he's clearly this is really cool armor.
Yeah, I'm standing next to him like, yeah, it's something, isn't it? Like,
And then
Was my 19 any?
yeah, you
good?
got the 19. So Kellen,
Yeah.
you see like when his hand touches, it's to you what happens when you touch a live wire. His body like freezes for a second, but then you notice like that quick blink of Otisesh and he just is acting normal. But there was something that happened, but it was very like micro of a thing.
Okay.
Nothing physical, just something his like body tense for a second, but it was only a mere moment and it was released.
So he basically springs right back to normal, right?
Within a it was just like him touching it. There's a locking of, you notice like his muscles tense, and then they relax, and he pulls away like nothing happened.
The only thing I'll do is when he kind of looks over at us, I'll kind of turn my head, like a dog. When a dog sees something, they kind of tilt their head and just kind of look at him and see if that gets a reaction out of him.
There's more than just decor.
oh, I mean, yeah, it's history. It's living history. This is the armor of Garth the Founder. He was a blacksmith who, became a warrior. Kind of born from nothing and made, did great things and helped a lot of people.
This is more than a suit of steel. It is more than its history alone.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's a symbol. Yeah.
We have been tasked with looking for secrets as well as powerful artifacts that may help. This may be one of those artifacts.
Dizzy kind of looks at the armor, looks at you, looks at the armor. I mean, it'd be a pretty well-kept secret. This armor's been here for 100 years. I think Grandmaster Thaddeus is 80? 90? He's been here a long time, and I mean, there could be magic in it. Maybe it's sort of a magic of this place. I know there's sort of a tranquility that sort of emanates, but I don't know if it's the armor.
God.
No, you go.
Do I have sense anything unusual with Arcana or anything like that? I mean, I'm untrained in Arcana, but anything.
Are you doing magic about it?
Yeah, I just want to see if I can understand it and look at it. Is there any sigils or anything that means anything to me? I'm not using magic on it though.
Okay, I mean, make an investigation check.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. That means a no.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. It looks old. It looks and in that moment, as you start to you're about to climb up it just to kind of look in the helmet, you hear boys, are you all right? And Master Thaddeus is there, hands folded, but you did not hear him approach.
I'll step back to the armor.
I would thank you for not climbing on one of our great relics. This is the armor of our founder.
Apologies.
But can I assist you all in any way? And I'm gonna roll some dice about stuff. Okay. He kind of scans over all of you. Does everyone make me an insight check?
16. 10.
8.
Okay. Just a simple old man being old. Being watchful, wandering the halls. He's a grandmaster. Who knows what he does? Well, if you'd like to know more about the history of our order, I would be glad to tell you a story. What is it that draws you to our founder's last armor?
I would be deeply surprised if you were not already aware.
A light smile touches his mouth, but not his eyes. I mean, I have kept this place long since my master's duty. It was now passed down to me. Well, from other masters, this place is, I don't know what it seems. What is it that you believe?
I believe that we are on a mission to stop a great evil that threatens this world. And that it is important for us to learn not only of its magic, but of its artifact. And those that are connected with the heroes that stopped this great evil the first time are of particular interest. And you are withholding information.
He doesn't, Master. He knows not what he speaks.
It takes a moment. Huh. You watch as he kind of bows his head and he snaps his fingers. And you all feel a pulse of divine magic. And you notice that there seems to be, I don't know, maybe like a 20-foot globe around you. And it is absolutely silent. But you hear his voice. You, the unnatural one, you bring undeath into our halls. And I say nothing of your secrets. But you seem to have somehow parsed out one of ours. And you all hear this. And then Thaddeus looks toward the armor and nods. And you see the armor move and puts down the sword. Steps off the stands. In a moment where the armor was empty, you see radiant light fill the eye holes and the mouth. As if, like, radiance is its body. And you hear in a deep voice, "Ha ha 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 ha. Worthy heroes indeed." And to Kellen, well, to Disbin specifically, the shadow this armor casts is a very familiar shadow to you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's game.
Wow.
Nice.
Good job uncovering something I was not going to reveal until, like, I don't know, 30 sessions down the road. But I was like, you did it. This would be a reason why things happen. So, very good job, Sam, without even realizing it, stumbling into a cool secret. So, yeah, thank you all for playing. Thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, we'll hopefully be back in a few weeks, and we'll have a conversation, I guess. Yeah, look at you, sussing out secrets of the people who suss out secrets. So, very good, very good. Thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Very fun. Thank you.
Yep. All
Thanks,
right.
Gene.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.